To make this into a project that would be pretty interesting, I just took a simple drawing of some fish, and I'm going to use my crayons to color in all those little areas. And you want to pick colors that are not going to be too dark. So you're thinking of like the water possibly being blue, although I'm going to use a little blue in the background, but I'm going to put it down kind of light, and I'm going to mix. So, you know, obviously if you have a light blue crayon, you can use the light blue crayon. And I'm just going to mix this a little bit. So I'm thinking of all these corals and things to do in the background. And so white is going to work good, because if you want something to stay white, you have to actually color it white. So I'm really pressing on this. So think about the opposite. If you want something to be black, you can leave it. So the end of the tail of this fish, I'm going to leave that black. So when I paint it over with the ink, the black is going to go right in there. In any little area that you feel like you might want a little outline of black, just leave it uncolored. So here's this drawing that I colored, and there's a lot of white in here. And then towards the end here, I kind of left it so it actually looks like there's a little less crayon on these areas in this spot, and a little bit of less crayon over here, so it can get darker as the ink is covered over it. Also, right in here, I left undone, so there'll be a black stripe, and around here. So this is what you want to try. You get your ink, India ink again, and then you're just going to paint over one area at a time. So I'll paint over my fish here. And then you're kind of thinking about what sort of pattern that you might want to put in that area that's painted black for the fish. So I could do some sort of swirls in there. I could do some sort of triangle design, whatever type of pattern in this particular area. So I'm going to paint a few things because I want to see where they are. I want to see where to stop. Because otherwise, if I just painted it all over like this, I would not be able to see where to stop, where the fish ends and where the coral starts, that type of thing. So whatever you're doing for your subject matter, you know, just pick out an area, paint that over, let it dry, and then you're going to be doing your patterns. So I'll do these two first. This is a nice big area that I can paint along with the other fish. So I let the first coat dry, and remember you want 2 coats of paint on this because you're going to be able to see through it otherwise. And it tends to resist. I have a lot of wax on there. So continue with your second coat, and then once it's completely dry, you're going to start to do your designs in these areas. Now I have this dried, so I'm going to think of a pattern to go in here. And what I'm going to do is fish scales. Now around this part, I'm going to do a little something different, give it some lines. So the patterning is one of the most important things about this type of work. It's just as important as the subject matter. So you're going to want to play around with some types of pattern. Think about what types of pattern you can do. Think about little doodly things, dots, dashes, shapes, lines. So now I got some patterns on these two areas that I put the ink on already. And again, you want to think about some different types of patterns and shapes that you can do in the other areas to make them different, to distinguish them from other kinds of objects that are on here. So I'm going to paint another section with my ink. And I'll do this yellow coral right here. And remember, you need 2 coats of this is India ink. And I did leave some of this area over here. A little uncolored, so you have some black and some dramatic effect. Objects have been done with the needle tool in different patterns and shapes. Now we're going to take some more ink and we're going to go over the background space. So it's actually okay if I touch the sides a little bit because I can always go over that, but I do know where all of the things are. Okay, now that the second coat of ink is dry, I'm going to start to put my details on my background. So I'm kind of thinking of just a little wavy line pattern, and again, you just want it to be a little different from the other patterns. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all of this up, and then I'll show you the results.